started with a classified ad. In the early winter of 2011, James V. Snow, a 51-year-old Ohio man, was browsing Craigslist for odd jobs and part-time work. A father of 2 grown kids, James had fallen on hard times after being laid off. He was eager to find income even if it meant taking short-term gigs that paid little, so when he came across an ad for a caretaker job that promised free room and board on a sprawling farm in rural Ohio, it sounded like the break he needed. He responded to the ad, was invited to an interview, and never came home again. A job offer that turned into a trap. The job description sounded legitimate. The employer claimed to be looking for someone to manage livestock and handle light maintenance. James traveled to Noble County, Ohio, to meet the landowner and tour the farm. But the farm didn't exist. It was all part of an elaborate ruse to lure victims. A week after James went missing, his family filed a report. With no phone calls, no bank activity, and no sightings, police became suspicious. Then came a break. Another man, who had also responded to a similar ad, managed to escape an attempted murder. He ran through the woods and flagged down help. What he told police chilled them to the bone. He had been lured to the same area, met by 2 men who offered to drive him to the farm, and was then shot at and robbed. Somehow he survived, and his information led police straight to a small wooded property, where something even darker was hidden. Unearthing a serial plot, police launched a search in the remote area described by the surviving victim. There, buried in a shallow grave, they found James V. Snow's body, shot through the head. But he wasn't the only one. 2 other men had also responded to similar Craigslist job ads and were lured out to the woods. One of them, Timothy Kern, was found buried behind a mall in Akron. Another, David Pauly, was also found shot and buried. Each victim had replied to a Craigslist ad expecting work. Each had been robbed, shot, and dumped like trash. Investigators soon pieced together the disturbing pattern. The man behind the ad had posted multiple listings and scheduled interviews with each victim. His real intention wasn't to hire anyone, it was to kill. Who was behind it all? Police arrested Richard Beasley, a 52-year-old preacher and street minister who was well known in the Akron area. Beasley ran a halfway house and had a long criminal history involving drugs, burglary, and prostitution. He was a charismatic talker and had convinced many people he was reformed. But Beasley had a sinister side. He posted the ads, arranged the meetings, and orchestrated the murders. His accomplice? Brogan Rafferty, a 16-year-old boy at the time whom Beasley had taken under his wing. Brogan came from a troubled home and saw Beasley as a mentor. Unfortunately, Beasley exploited that trust, pulling Brogan into his killing scheme. Beasley's motive was straightforward and chilling. He wanted to steal the victims' identities, money, and vehicles. He believed that by killing them he could assume their lives or sell off their property. Beasley was in trouble with the law already and facing potential prison time. He saw murder as a way out, eliminate innocent people, and use their identities to start fresh. But he didn't anticipate one victim escaping and blowing the whole plan apart. The trial began in 2013, and the evidence was overwhelming. The surviving victim gave emotional testimony. Forensic evidence linked Beasley and Rafferty to the crimes. The Craigslist messages, phone records, and even shallow graves told the rest of the story. Brogan Rafferty was tried as an adult despite being a teenager. He claimed he was manipulated by Beasley and feared for his life if he refused to help. But the jury saw through it. He was convicted of aggravated murder, attempted murder, and robbery, and sentenced to life in prison without parole. As for Beasley, the judge had even fewer words. "You have snuffed out the lives of 3 innocent men," the judge said during sentencing. "You are the definition of evil." Richard Beasley was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to death. He currently resides on death row at Chillicothe Correctional Institution in Ohio. James V. Snow, Timothy Kern, and David Pauly were ordinary men trying to get back on their feet. They never imagined that a job ad could lead to such horror. Their families grieved deeply, left to wonder how such evil could hide behind a smiling preacher. The case raised national awareness about the dangers of online classified sites and led Craigslist to further restrict job postings and personal ads.